Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today, I want to be taking a look at the potential for new weapons to become reprised in Lightfall when it drops next month. And specifically, I think the Last Wish raid will become craftable weapons. Specifically today, I want to take a look at the pulse rifle, the Chattering Bone, and see its versatility in PvP and PvE. However, I want this video just to be a general discussion on if you think the Last Wish will be the raid that comes back. Here you can take a look at my pulse rifle. The stats: light mag, kill grip, high impact reserves, range masterwork, counterbalance stock, a couple kills in PvE, none in PvP. And we're going to be playing some PvP, I think, mainly with it today, just to see how it does. So Bungie recently said that between between the Vault of Glass, Deepstone Crypt, and Garden of Salvation, one of those would be coming back with new and reprised weapons. Having said that, they didn't explicitly say that. However, they did say they would do something similar like they did with the Deepstone Crypt, which, if that's the case, it is going to be one of those three raids. The reason I think it's the Last Wish raid is because it's the oldest one to this game, and it's going to kind of make a special place in players' hearts, having to grind for these weapons for craftable roles. Specifically, I'm unsure if... So in this raid, there's also the Supremacy and the Tachyon Force, which I did not show. However, I doubt those would be craftable because those come just from the chests and not any of the boss drops. So for the Last Wish raid specifically, we have the Pulse Chattering Bone, Scout Rifle Transfiguration, the Rocket Launcher, Apex Predator, I believe, the Age-Old Bond, which is the 720 RPM auto rifle, and I believe that is everything. Oh, and pistol, Nation of Beasts. Now I have all these weapons, not the best rolls on any of them, so I would be interested in crafting them. Also, the number of people that have these weapons that know how to do, got them from the raid and just kind of settled, because not too many people back then, because Last Wish, in my opinion, is one of the harder raids for somebody to pick up and learn, especially some of the later encounters, such as the Vault or Riven itself. Most people still to this day just cheese Riven, so I think it would be very fresh and a good opportunity to bring it back into the game. All of these weapons here that I listed off, I think, except maybe Transfiguration, have some kind of spot in the sandbox to play. I'm just showcasing Chattering Bone here, but I think roles I would personally chase. I'd want to craft the Pulse Chattering Bone. I think it'd be good in PvP and PvE, if depending on the artifact we get with Lightfall. I doubt it would see play. Apex Predator would probably be my number one crafted. And again, this depends on, one, if they bring it back. This is merely just kind of a speculation video. But if it does come back, also, they will retool the perk pools for the weapons, which is huge. And the reason none of these weapons are necessarily the meta now is because with the release of origin traits, none of these weapons have that in any of these old raids. And just with that addition alone, certainly makes the weapons more viable if you were to go back and get a copy of a weapon. So that in and of itself, I think, is going to be a reason for players to grind for these particular roles. This archetype specifically, looking at this pulse gameplay, isn't meta right now, but I'm doing okay with it. It's not the best. Look at things currently in this Season 19 sandbox like Disparity, for a pulse that's really taking the charge, if you will, in the sandbox. Me picking up and playing with this, I didn't expect to do too well, getting a lot of shotgun kills here in this gameplay. One of the things I really wonder with the Last Wish raid, though, I'm curious what you think, if they bring it back, unlike many of the other raids, and actually, I think there isn't, if I remember right, and I have Riven's Bane, you think I would know this, there isn't any challenges really with the raid. Is there? I don't think so. Maybe there is. Anyways, sound off in the comments. I'll have to look at my triumphs and see if there's challenges we did. I can't recall if there's any. So what I'm hinting at is I don't know if there would be a double loot drop for any of the encounters to increase your chances at getting this weapon at the end. There has to be challenges because there's a seal, is what I'm thinking of now that I'm thinking back to it. But it's for sure one of my more preferred raids because it just takes a little bit longer to execute. Well, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. I enjoy that aspect of it because it has such good loot in it. At the time, at least, it was good loot. Of course, everything, kind of phases out of the game over time. The armor, I was able to collect all 3 sets, and that still aesthetically looks really nice. I currently don't use it, but it would be nice if they could bring it back, and maybe even, they didn't do this with Deep Stone Crypt, but maybe if they give an additional carrot at the end of the stick for us to chase. However, I do think just the weapons alone being craftable would be a great addition in order to make players have something else to chase in the interim. I wouldn't even say the interim, in addition to what we have now. So with the release of Lightfall, there's certainly going to be ample stuff to do. And I think the addition of the craftable weapons for an older raid is just going to kind of add on that extra little bit. So when that raid comes into rotation, it's a little bit more of a reason to hop in there. And depending on the challenge rotation of the week, could even be additional incentive. So please let me know what you guys think on the raid that's coming back, unless you think it's a completely new raid altogether, which I do not believe to be the case, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Sound off in the comments below. See you next time.
1 minute. You have this.